Commerce without morality can be defined as the engaging in unfair business practices to maximize profits without the regard for the well-being of others. This can be best exemplified in the exploitation of migrant workers, which has become increasingly prevalent in the United States. This topic is of particular significance in today's society because it poses a stark contradiction to the American values of equal opportunity and freedom. Less than 2% of the U.S. labor force works in agriculture. However, 6 out of 10 of U.S. farm workers are estimated to be undocumented workers, meaning that the total number of farm workers could be up to 1.5 times as high.
An H-2B visa is a permit that allows a person to come and work in the United States temporarily without becoming a resident. However, both immigrants with and without these permits are often taken advantage of.
Employers of migrant workers will oftentimes abuse their labor contracts or avoid paying them justly or at all. They can do this by filing false claims against them or putting off payment until the laborer quits.
One of the areas where foreign workers are routinely exploited is in the area of workplace injuries. These are injuries that happen while they're on the job, and a lot of the jobs they take are high risk, so things like construction, landscaping, cooking, things where there's a lot of danger. And in any normal circumstance, if you're injured on the job, you file a workers' compensation claim to cover any time lost from work, plus some compensation for your injuries, as well as the medical expenses. A lot of the undocumented workers believe that they're not covered under the workers' compensation law, even though they are. And they also fear reporting the workers' compensation claim because they basically want to stay away from any kind of judicial process, anything to do with the government.
The Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938 established the 40-hour work week, minimum wage, and time and a half for any work done past 40 hours in 1 week. It was designed to protect employees from their employers. However, many migrant workers do not know that they are also protected under this law and others like it, and as a result, they often evade the law and do not speak up when being exploited.
The Mercury News provides one such example of an employee that was abused by their employer. Jose Unicelo Gonzalez, a day laborer in Garden Grove, had finished up paving a parking lot, and when he asked for his day's wages, instead of paying him, his local contractor called the police and filed a false report of robbery. Although the charges were eventually dropped, Gonzalez was handed over to immigration enforcement agents and was never paid his salary. When these workers are injured on the job, employers are also oftentimes reluctant to give out workers' compensation. When these workers are hospitalized due to injuries on the job, they oftentimes lie because of fear of arrest, even though the law does protect the treatment of immigrant workers.
But typically in the jobs that the undocumented workers are employed for, they are eligible for overtime, which means they should be getting time and a half or 1.5 times their normal hourly wage, and a lot of times they don't. So for example, a worker who makes $10 an hour as their normal rate, if that person works 60 hours a week and only gets paid $600, they're getting ripped off because they're working 20 overtime hours where they should be getting $15 an hour. So their total compensation should be $400 for the first 40 hours plus $300 for the next 20 hours. It means they're getting ripped off $100 a week. $100 a week for a $10 an hour employee is a lot of money. And when you think about it over time, because these workers are very loyal, and once they find a place, they'll tend to stay there if they can. So in every year, this person's getting ripped off $5,200 of overtime wages, and sometimes it goes on, it could go on for 10 years. So that's just a small example of a very common occurrence.
One way we can accomplish this is by adding a subscript to the H-2B visa application in order to inform all legal migrant workers in the United States of their protection under the law.
Another solution to this problem that we proposed is creating a stronger emphasis on employer accountability. This can be done through stricter punishments for attempting to exploit their workers.